In this video, we're going to be looking at related words. Some of the material has been taken from our verbal reasoning books, which you can find via the link in the description, alongside a free PDF with 20 questions for you to try after this video. So let's get into it. These questions are about the relationship between the words. The three words on the left share the same relation. Underline the two words in brackets that also share this same relationship. You've got train, bus and bike in our example. So we first of all need to consider these as a group. We don't know what they are and we're going to work that out. So a train, bus and bike, they can be linked together by the fact that they're all forms of transport. We have vehicles, transport, plane, ship and drive. What you'll notice there is there's a lot of things related to transport, but are they actually forms of transport? So vehicles, they are forms of transport, but they're not a particular form of transport. You've got transport, which again sort of describes the general theme, but isn't exactly the same as these. And you've got plane and ship, which are actually vehicles. And you've got drive, which is a verb that we associate with transport. So you drive a car. Step one, what makes these things similar? They're all vehicles. Then step two, which words in the brackets are related in this way? As you can see here, we've written out how they relate to each other. And the final thing is identifying that plane and ship are also vehicles, so our answers are plane and ship. Let's get into some of our own examples. Question 1. We've got apples, pears and oranges. Well, let's think about what they are. They are fruit. There's no similarity in terms of colour across all three either, so we know it's nothing to do with that because we've got oranges in there, whereas these are green usually, although apples can also be red. You've got leeks, cabbages, grapes, fruits and mangoes. So what you'll notice here is you've got two vegetables, so they don't fit into this group. Grapes, which actually do fit into this group because they are fruit. Then you've got fruits, which is the general term which encompasses apples, pears, oranges, grapes, etc. And then you've got mangoes, and mangoes is a mango is a fruit. So our correct answer will be grapes and mangoes. Let's look at the next one. So we've got helicopter, train and aeroplane. Now again, this is very similar to the original example. These are all forms of transport, so they can be grouped together in that way. Then you've got car, transport, that general word, driving, fly and bus. So again, we can eliminate some. This transport is the general term. We've got driving, which is the verb. We've got fly, which again is a verb, or it could be referring to an actual fly or to fly somewhere. And then we're left with our answers. So we've got bus and car because they're types of vehicle. Next set of examples. So number 3, we've got coffee, tea and juice. These are all drinks. Then I've got drink, which could be the verb or the noun. I've got water, squash, cake and carrot. Of these 5 here, we know it's not cake because cake's about eating. So we're going to rule that one out. Carrot, again, is about eating, although you've got carrot juice, but it just says carrot here. Doesn't really fit in. And then we've got drink, which is again our verb or our noun, which is too general. So we're left with water and squash. So water and squash are our answers. Then we got toucan, pelican and emu. These are birds. Yeah, these are types of birds. Then we've got swan, duck, platypus, cockapoo and dragonfly. Now platypus, So we've got swan and duck. Swan and duck are going to be our answers because they are birds. They are types of birds. Now platypus is something that is bird-like, but it's not actually a bird. So we can rule that out. A cockapoo, the reason why I put this down is because it sounds like cockatoo. But it's not, so it's a type of dog. And then we got a dragonfly, and dragonfly is neither a dragon nor a fly. It is a dragonfly. It's an insect, wind predatory insect. So we can get rid of that, and we're left with swan and duck. This one utilizes a bit of general knowledge. So we've got Mandarin, Urdu, and Farsi. So Mandarin, you've got Mandarin Chinese, you've got Urdu, actually from India. And then you've got Farsi, which is the Persian language. Then you've got Indian, Hebrew, Japanese, Hollandaise, and Cuban. So these three here are actually all languages. Okay, so because you've got Mandarin Chinese or dialects. Then you've got Indian, which is a bit of a confusing one because there isn't an Indian language. There are loads of dialects and languages spoken in India, so we can rule that out. We've got Hebrew, which is the language of the Israelis, so we can underline that. Then we've got Japanese, which can obviously describe the race of people from Japan, but can also be a language. And then we've got Hollandaise. So you've heard of the Netherlands, or Holland as it used to be called. I was thinking of Hollandaise sauce, just to mislead you a little bit. That isn't actually a language, it's obviously Dutch. And then Cuban. People from Cuba actually speak Spanish, or their version of Spanish. There isn't a language called Cuban, so we can eliminate that, and we're left with Hebrew and Japanese as our answers. The final one, we got a bit of a mathematical one. They sometimes like to cross these subjects, so reasoning crossed with maths, crossed with English, that kind of thing. So you've got radius, diameter, and sector. These are all to do with circles, and they're mathematical terms. Then you've got pi, piano, chord, string, and chart. So the answers are actually pi and chord, because these are actually to do with circles. But I put piano there just to mislead you a little bit with the chord, so we can eliminate that. String, again, might be associated a little bit with circle, but it's not actually to do with circles, so we can eliminate that. And then we've got chart, which might make you think of pie chart, which is to do with circles, but this is too ambiguous, so we can eliminate that. So we're left with pi and chord, and those are our answers. I hope you found that useful. Don't forget you can download the free 20 question PDF via the link in the description, as well as a copy of the full verbal reasoning books. To watch another verbal reasoning video, click on one of these boxes here. And don't forget to like and subscribe.